Welcome to this week of Unleash Yourself. And this week we are going to continue down the path of our physical audit. Now, what we're going to do is we're going to look at that list. We're going to see how many glasses of water were we drinking, what were the foods we were consuming, how was our sleep phases, what was our exercise routine like. And we're actually going to start with the things that we can easily change. So we want to make small changes when it comes to our physical lifestyle. The reason New Year's resolutions, for example, don't normally work out for people is they make a resolution to lose weight, right? So they increase their water, they change their food diet, and they start exercising. Well, they actually create a very rigorous routine. And so they really are gung-ho and they get started and everything's really great. And then, after like day 15, sometimes day 20, the body is so overwhelmed that it actually starts to freak out. And the person's mental health is going, the person's emotional health is going, the body is actually in like stress and overwhelm, and then eventually the person stops doing whatever resolution it is because they're so overwhelmed with the actual lifestyle change. Now, it's because they tried to change it so drastically. We are creatures of habit, and so we have to make small changes. And those small changes have to become a habit first before we implement new changes. So if you're the type of person that doesn't like to drink water, then that would be the number one thing to work on right now, because water is so important. We cannot go 3 days without water, or our actual body will start to suffer, our organs will break down, our mental health starts to go, we don't have clarity, and so we actually need water. And so the best thing to do in this case, if you're the type of person that doesn't drink enough water, is to look at what are you consuming. So for example, for every cup of coffee you have, you're actually supposed to follow it up with 1 glass of water. Now that's not in relation to your daily water intake. So your daily water intake is not necessarily 8 glasses a day. You actually take your weight, you divide it in half, and then you calculated it out in ounces, and that's how many ounces you're supposed to drink a day. So everybody's water intake is slightly different, but let's just say that you're supposed to consume 8 glasses of water a day. Well, then the way that works is it's 8 glasses of water. For every coffee you have, you're supposed to follow it up with a glass of water. So now that's 9 glasses of water. If you have a glass of orange juice, now it's actually 10 glasses of water. If you have a tea, now it's actually, tea is a little bit different. If you're drinking normal tea, like if you're drinking black tea and you have sugar and you have milk in it, then yes, you still have to drink a glass of water. But if you're drinking herbal teas or green tea and you don't have anything in it, so no honey, no sugar, no maple syrup, no agave, no stevia, nothing that sweetens it, just plain up straight green tea or herbal tea like peppermint tea, lemon ginger, any of those types of teas count towards your water intake. Now, the minute, though, you add sugar or milk or any type of sweetener, then you actually have to increase your water. So tea's a little bit different. But you got to take into account that for every liquid you consume, you actually have to consume another glass of water, right? So if you drink 2 coffees every morning, then you should be drinking 2 glasses of water just to offset that coffee, and then your 8 glasses of water on top of that. So just to kind of give you an idea, that's what it means by are you getting enough water in your daily cycle. So it's very important. You need water for healthy organs. You need water for the energy to properly move through your body. you need energy, or you need the water to actually create the electrical impulses that move everything through the body that actually keeps you living. So water is number one. So if you're not getting your daily recommended water intake, that is what I would consider to be the number one thing that you can work on towards your physical audit. And again, this is to work towards. It doesn't mean that you have to get to drinking that much water tomorrow. It just means that that's the goal. So if it takes you a year to get there, that's okay. Just as long as you're working towards it, that's all that matters. And so while you're, so then you get on this water routine, right? You start increasing your water, you're aware of what's going into your body. Maybe you're doing that for like 3 weeks, and then it becomes more of a habit to actually drink water. Once it becomes a habit, then you can actually move on to the next physical lifestyle change. So maybe you want to look at the food that you're consuming. And so now you're going to say, okay, I really need to be mindful of what I am consuming, right? So maybe you're like, okay, I'm not sleeping well. So I have, slowed down on my coffee, because my coffee, decreases my B12, and then I need my B12 for serotonin and melatonin, and maybe that's why I'm not sleeping. Or, it's winter, I'm not getting outside enough, I don't have enough vitamin D, and because it's winter, I'm not eating enough leafy greens, so I don't have the vitamin K, right? You need vitamin K to actually absorb the vitamin D. And so B12, vitamin D, vitamin K, magnesium are very important when it comes to sleep. Oftentimes, we can actually just increase these vitamins, and it'll actually have amazing results on our sleep. So if you're realizing that you're not outside enough, you're not getting the vitamin D, and like I said, you're not getting the vitamin K, then you can actually take a supplement, and this will actually help you to sleep better. So, but it's about learning the lifestyle changes that you need to make for overall healthy decisions, right? So then you decide that you're going to change your eating habits. You're going to increase the food that you're eating so that your body is not in starvation mode, and you actually have more energy to get through the day, right? And so you just start moving things around. Then maybe, another 3 weeks have gone by, you're drinking more water, you're eating more healthy. Now you want to actually look at the exercise. So now you're like, okay, I'm going to start with yoga, or I'm going to start with Tai Chi or Qigong, and I'm going to start with those exercises that are more designed around stretching and actually just getting my body prepared for cardio or hiking or walking or kayaking or whatever else it is you want to do. So it's about finding the balance and slowly making those changes so that it becomes a lifestyle. So that's what we're going to continue with this week, is we're going to look at the week that we just had. I would encourage you to also look at this coming week, right? It's hard to find patterns when you've only been looking at something for a week. Oftentimes, if you really want to see a pattern, you really got to actually write it down, and you got to follow it for a prolonged period of time. And so that way you can actually see the habits of what's going on. So most times you generally would have to follow something for about a month or so if you really wanted to actually see a pattern. But that is completely up to you if you want to go that far and to record it for that long. So as always, if you have questions or you have concerns or you need clarity, please reach out. And otherwise, I am looking forward to seeing you soon.